Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Women will be allowed to drive for the first time next summer in Saudi Arabia, the ultra-conservative kingdom announced, marking a significant expansion of women's rights in the country that barred them from getting behind the wheel. While women in other Muslim countries drove freely, the kingdom's blanket ban attracted negative publicity for years. Neither Islamic law nor Saudi traffic law explicitly prohibited women from driving, but they were not issued licenses and were detained if they attempted to drive. Prince Khaled bin Salman, Saudi Arabia's ambassador to Washington and the King's son, said Tuesday that letting women drive is a huge step forward and that society is ready. "This is the right time to do the right thing," he told reporters. In the U.S., women will be allowed to obtain licenses without the permission of a male relative. The announcement came in the form of a royal decree that was reported late Tuesday by the state-run Saudi press agency and state TV. "I am really excited. This is a good step forward for women's rights," said Aziza Youssef, a professor at King Saud University and one of Saudi Arabia's most vocal women's rights activists. Speaking to the Associated Press from Riyadh, she said women were happy, but also that the change was the first step in a lot of rights we are waiting for. Saudi history offers many examples of women being punished simply for operating a vehicle. In 1990, 50 women were arrested for driving and lost their passports and their jobs. More than 20 years later, a woman was sentenced in 2011 to 10 lashes for driving, though the late King Abdullah overturned the sentence. As recently as late 2014, 2 Saudi women were detained for more than 2 months for defying the ban on driving, when one of them attempted to cross the Saudi border with a license from neighboring United Arab Emirates in an act of defiance. Youssef took part in numerous driving campaigns, including a widely publicized effort in 2013, when dozens of women across the kingdom uploaded videos to YouTube of themselves driving in Saudi Arabia. Some videos showed families and male drivers giving women a thumbs up, suggesting many were ready for the change. The decree indicated that women will not be allowed to drive immediately. A committee will be formed to look into how to implement the new order, which is slated to take effect in June 2018. For years, the kingdom has incrementally granted women more rights and visibility, including participation in the Olympic Games in London and Rio, positions on the country's top consultative council, and the right to run and vote in local elections in 2015. Despite these openings, Saudi women remain largely subject to the whims of men due to guardianship laws which bar them from obtaining a passport, traveling abroad, or marrying without the consent of a male relative. Women who attempt to flee abusive families have also faced imprisonment or been forced into shelters. King Salman and his young son and heir, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, tested the waters over the weekend by allowing women into the country's main stadium in Riyadh for annual celebrations of the nation's founding. The stadium had previously been reserved for all male crowds to watch sporting events.